welcome to another episode of Alan Develops. Been a little while since I worked on this, not gonna lie. Um, Lying generally doesn't do much good if you're lying to yourself. Anyway, we're working on Journey to the Center of the Nougat, and I've got 2 more characters left to finish up, and I think I can do that pretty quick. I've already set up the outline, so you don't have to go through the tedious thing of me setting things up, which is a lot of what writing can sometimes be when you're filling out an outline, and you just have to, make sure everything's set up. All right, so this is Cast the Guide, and this is... Everyone wants to be somewhere else, and they'd rather get there in one piece. So, Guy Monka wants a guide. Turns out my good friend Kay vouches for him. Oh, this has all the impending bits of a first draft. I'll have to fix it, but that's what you do with second drafts. That's good enough for me. Just so long as not eaten by a giant snake or torn asunder by giant apes. No, he does not do the giant apes. Other people do the giant apes. Cass has not been outside the Amazon, and that's an important thing. So long as Monka defers, doesn't tell me how to be his guide, we'll get along. He does his things, I shall do mine. You'd think someone born to money would smell a little better. Like honest sweat. But honest sweat must be earned. This one has had the world handed to them. They think I'm the unwashed wouldn't try, but act petty. This one had the world handed to them and asked for more. I'm the unwashed barbarian. Let's trade places and see who shines through. You know what I said about being born to wealth? Well, about VTH? Well, it turns out they do know some good people who try to do good things in the world. Without Kay, I'd still be in that hellhole of a prison. And yet they don't hold that over my head. At least, not yet. Here's hoping that our friendship survives this expedition. Mutual respect. Kind of like scientists. They're making the world a better place every day. You could almost call them explorers. And this one, and Jay seems to be pretty darn smart. The world could use more of that. Kind of like scientists. Just about everything we have comes from them. You can also call them knowledge explorers. Alright, now we come to the crux of things. R.H. Seifert and Cass the Explorer. They are the one relationship I haven't defined yet. Let's go with... Sure, whatever. So, Seifert is a lot of things to a lot of people. And let's see, what do we have there? So Seifert is a lot of things to a lot of people. And it doesn't all make sense. Nemesis, friend, what else was Seifert?
This is not going to be easy.
Nemesis, friend, or whatever. Let's see, Nemesis, friend, or whatever. Nemesis, friend, or whatever. Let's just figure things out as we go along. Okay, there we go. That's one way to look at it. Again, I may change some things. Now let's hop to Seifert. Every experiment needs a control. Something that isn't involved directly so that you can measure success or failure. Right now, that's me on this expedition. Without a stake in the outcome, I can look after the people and the facts far clearer than anyone else. Say what you want, but Monka is a lot of fun to screw around with. They try one thing, I counter with another. Never boring, and indeed enlightening. Never would have uncovered that conspiracy except for their candy venture. There's trouble lurking. So, every sun has a shadow. And VTH is the one in the back pulling the strings. At least the ones I can see. Whether of good intentions or bad, well, that's to be determined. But I'll be waiting. And watching all the while. Kay isn't an ordinary bodyguard. That much is obvious. That's also about the only thing that is obvious. That's also about the only thing that is obvious. And unknown factors are the anathema. That's not how you spell it. Thank you. Spell check. What did we do before spell check? We spelled things wrong and didn't realize it. And unknown factors are the anathema to science. Because they can spoil results. It's not a theory, but it's a, what is it called? You don't have a theory, you have what comes before a theory? Let's spoil results, methods, and theories. Begins with an F. I will figure it out. But right now, I'm not going to dwell on it, going to move on. Got to keep forward motion. Adventure buddies. In the world, there are so few people. No, there aren't. On occasion, you meet someone amazing, and you wonder what your life would be like without them. Jay is one such person. A treasure without, not without cost. A treasure without, without weight. A treasure to be held. A treasure to behold. A true treasure to behold. And what did we say for Seaford and Cass? Sure, whatever. Right. The guide. Try to keep them from being swallowed by snakes or torn apart by apes. If you can. Alright, wow, that was only 13 minutes. Well, do we want to do some additional stuff? We're screwing around with this. 3, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are just very tight. Feels like I should go a little outrageous, and I'm not going to edit this. I've already done a little bit of editing, but all right. How about what else? The expedition. I could do the expedition. The hotel is nice. That won't last. The riverboat is well armed, but we can't stay there. There's a lot of donkeys. carry our stuff until they perish. We'll end up walking back, holding only what is critical. Of that, certain. Because it has happened before. Oh. Remember, Alan, to copy everything that you need. Copying, copying, copying. Copy, copy, copy. The hotel is a target. Is a well-armed target. The donkeys. The mobile targets. Need to move quickly to stay ahead of danger. For there are many of those out in the jungle. Alright, let's move that up. This is just how people see the expedition. Okay, the professional. Go with danger at every turn. Every turn. The hotel might burn down, the riverboat might sink. Sink. The donkeys won't be much trouble by themselves. Much has been planned for, but planning only goes so far. But a plan only goes so far. Okay, that's not bad, that's not bad. It's in keeping with Kay. Kay is the professional bodyguard after all. And here we go. 18 minutes in, and I got some more filler for you. I'm not sure, this might be the last episode. In fact, it probably will, unless I polish things up and then show it off to you, perhaps with imagery. I do, in fact, intend to put in some imagery. Whatever is a free-to-use stuff for things. Jay the Scientist. Let's do discoveries at every turn. The hotel is nice, but we won't learn much amid padded delight. The riverboat need to go slow if we are to truly understand the stretch of the Amazon. We won't mention the donkeys. The jungle, though, that's where we need to go. As deep and as far as we can. Only amidst untouched amid the darkest of places will light reveal. Will light reveal the most. Will the light of knowledge, science reveal the most? I can also put things down, what are they called? Personality traits or quirks. Let's call them quirks. Uses too many points, but is trying to cut back. Talks about science. Small talks about science. And those are two good ones. Alright. But let's keep going on the main one. How they see the expedition will be far more important. The expedition. It's mine. I own it. Or at least have funded it. Everything from a partnership in the hotel. If you remember, the hotel is going to burn down. To a owning the very planks of the riverboat. The donkeys haven't been branded with my name because that seems unnecessarily but what you buy, you own. And the fruits of this expedition will fall to me in the end. Be a partnership with Monka or by default. Let's see, any quirks? Never forgets a purchase. Doesn't haggle with money. The terms and conditions might apply. When you're wealthy enough, it's just, well, there you go. Alright, the expedition. My last shot. It is all or nothing. Naturally, I want it all. Only the most impressive of will matter. Whatever lost along the way, whatever's lost along the way. A bit of concern. The hotel can burn down. The riverboat can sink. The donkeys can I wish them well. Hold a moment. I wish them well. But in the end, they're all expendable to a greater, lesser degree. But sadly, in the end, they're all expendable. Manic. Determined. Alright, manic when success looms. Never gambles. Money. Only my life. Alright. That's not bad. Okay, the professional. Why? By default. Small threats. Better dispatched early. I better ride early. I don't know if I'll go with that. I'm kind of hitting the bottom of the barrel here. Creativity draining. This happens. You can only go so far being creative before you need a break. And how you take your break is very important. For example, I'm going to go for a walk after this to clear my head, get some fresh air, and some exercise. Because sitting in front of a computer typing is not exercise, not in the least. In fact, it's not the antithesis of exercise, which is essentially sleep, but it's close. All right. Okay, cats. At home in the jungle. Paranoid, but for a reason. For good reason. All right. The odd one out. And fine with that. Treats life like a movie. Okay. Some of this will be filled in with their own, because we dealt with the character sheets, will be dealt with by their what do you call it? Their things. There we go. That's a good name for it. Their things. The tags, anyway, it'll all work together, and I'm going to go through this again and make sure that everything sort of lines up. And then I'm going to go back to the adventure, make sure that when I push it through every scene, a player should have something to do. I don't want people just standing around with their hands in their pockets going, well, this isn't for me, because that's boring, and we're not here to be boring. All right. But that was the journey to the center of the Nougat. What's left is for me to sort out and set up the boring stuff, as it were, so that the players can have the exciting portions play out. This will include putting some images together, maybe a few maps. There's a lot of good online resources for that. You just have to keep digging to find something that will work for you. All too often I have found that things will not work for me, but I remain ever hopeful that I will find a map generator that I can use. But let me say thank you for staying with me to the end of this, and I hope you have a good time. If you've gotten anything out of this, use it in your own adventures and enjoy. Stay safe and take care out there, all right? Thanks.